So let's not waste any time and head straight into Sonic.
Snooping as usual.
Do the Marios!
That's no good.
Well, Sonic 4 is almost here, and after my series of Mega Man 10 reviews, I decided to review all of the classic Sonic games in anticipation of this.
Hey, I'm reviewing the classic Sonic games.
Well, so am I.
But we can't both do it, there'd be no point. I always have a month of Sonic. I think you should go do something else.
But I said I'd review them in my Mega Man 10 review. I can't leave my meager fan base hanging like that.
Screw your fans, I'm more popular. I think I should get to do it.
But I had reservations. I called this months ago.
Well then I guess there's only one thing left to do. His fur, colored blue to match the Sega logo.
His shoes inspired by Michael Jackson and Santa Claus.
His inability to swim, given to him when Yuji Naka had an idiot moment and thought that hedgehogs couldn't swim.
His name is Mr. Needlemouse. Huh.
Ahem. His name? Sonic the Hedgehog. But just the character alone wasn't enough. Sonic needed some advertisements. Good God, what the fuck? Is this supposed to be Sonic?
Well, that was a Japanese commercial. I would comment on how weird it is, but I think the video speaks for itself.
Green Hill Zone.
Sonic's World 1. It's a nice little beginner's level to get us moving really fast and introduce us to the game mechanics. Some areas to explore and a lot of loops.
Marble Zone. And we immediately kill that nice buzz we had with Green Zone in this clunker of a level. Labyrinth Zone. And it's here we find out that Sonic can't swim and can drown underwater. Well, that's just great. Slow, platforming, and a time limits and Sonic can't breathe. God, what else can go wrong? Starlight Zone.
Finally, back to some speed and using physics to our advantage. This is what the entire game should have been.
Scrap Brain Zone.
Send in everyone.
Which one?
Everyone!
So if you want a better ending, then nab all 6 Chaos Emeralds. Wasn't there 7? Yeah, laugh it up, fat man.
For those of you not in the know, Nintendo had thoroughly dominated the last 6 years of video gaming. If you wanted to do something, it would have to be on Nintendo because no one else could compete. But then, Sonic came along. For the first time ever, Nintendo had competition. For the first time since Nintendo had entered consoles, someone else had market share. Someone else was the cool guy in town, and that was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Now, if only it had a better commercial. God, what is this?
Next time on Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Robotnik is back in action as he tries to take over South Island and...
What the hell are you doing?
Oh, no, nothing. See you guys next review.
Not without me, you're not.
Oh, hey, Elliot.
Okay, so you're gonna let Crazy Hair be in this, and yet I can't be in this.
I resent that.
You want to join?
Sure, I thought it was gonna be harder than that. I had a ladle ready and everything.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
On November 24th, 1992, a day dubbed as Sonic Tuesday, fans saw the release of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Unlike the original game, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was actually developed in America. In addition to the return of our blue hero, we're also introduced to Miles per Hour, only known as Tails. Seriously, why even bother giving him a name when he's only called Tails in every game he's in?
In this installment, Dr. Robotnik returns and begins kidnapping all the little woodland creatures. Again. But this time, he's got something much bigger planned. The Death Egg.
What?
Instead of 3 acts per zone, stages now only have 2 acts per zone, but the levels themselves are more fleshed out, longer with new bandits, different routes, and more obstacles. Like the original, every zone ends with a boss fight with Dr. Robotnik, who has even more nefarious ways of trying to destroy Sonic. This can range from trying to impale Sonic with the slowest moving drill in existence, to trying to smash him with the world's most predictable hammer strikes. Are you sure this guy has an IQ of 300?
Emerald Hill Zone. It's just Green Hill Zone, only a lot more colorful. Moving on, Oil Ocean Zone.
A zone with crap loads of oil and seahorses, which can actually be pretty dang annoying. I actually sometimes wonder what would happen if a lit matchstick fell into this area. Hey look, you can do this.
Metropolis Zone. Unlike other zones, this one actually has 3 acts instead of 2, and Christ can they be long. But that's not this level's worst problem. It's these fuckers. Shellcrackers, Asterons, and Slicers. Now Asterons aren't that big of a deal. They're easy to spot and they're incredibly easy to avoid if you prepare for it. These two, however, will make sure your ring count will never go above 1. First off, Shellcracker's only weak spot is on its back, but whenever you spot one, it's usually under an incredibly low ceiling, so you can never really jump over it and hit it. If you attempt to attack it from the front, you'll just get owned by its extendable claw. But trust me, even he doesn't compare to the Slicer.
I hate slicers.
They're freaking everywhere and their placements are just plain cheap. Look at this. How am I supposed to avoid that? Upon starting the level and when you get your first shield, you'll come across a propeller which blocks your progression and is supposed to force you to take the left path. However, if you simply walk straight into the propeller, you'll lose your shield, but you can use the invincibility frames given to you to walk past it and effectively skip half of the level.
However, if you manage to obtain all 7 Chaos Emeralds, we get what's probably the coolest addition to the Sonic series, Super Sonic. Upon collecting 50 rings and simply jumping, Sonic will transform into the Golden Super Sonic, which he can run faster, jumps hell of a lot higher, and is pretty much invulnerable to enemy attack.
Though he can still get crushed, fall into pits, and drown. You'd think becoming Super would benefit Sonic's non-existent swimming abilities, but apparently the creator of the emeralds were waterphobes too.
You might know everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you, since I know everything you're going to do! Strange, isn't it?
In this game, we're introduced to 2 more staple characters of the franchise, Metal Sonic and Amy Rose, which the manual mistakenly refers to as Princess Sally from the Sad AM series. How did they screw that up? They look nothing alike. Well, actually, this could explain where Amy will later develop her color blindness. She got it from the goddamn makers of this game. And lo and behold, this is probably the only game which you can actually tolerate her, and it's all because she doesn't talk. She just follows you and occasionally hugs you, and even then it's only on the first stage. In addition to having a louder color palette, the series also has for the first time CD quality music. Take this intro song, Sonic Boom. It's a pretty nice song.
Sonic Warrior, Sonic Warrior, Sonic Warrior.
What the hell are you singing?
Oh, I'm just singing the intro song for Sonic CD. You can do anything, or Toot Sonic Warrior.
Toot Sonic. Dude, Sonic Boom is the intro song, not this toot shit you're singing.
Well, you see, what happened is that both games got separate soundtracks between the Japanese release and the US release. Both soundtracks are fine, but they got separate theme songs. I don't know why. I guess they didn't think Americans would like a song that goes Toot Sonic Warrior.
Okay, what were these people thinking when they were creating the concepts for these special stages? I mean, look at this!
When you destroy all the UFOs, you're rewarded with a Time Stone. If you manage to collect them all, it automatically creates good futures for every zone and guarantees you the good ending. However, because they're Time Stones and not Chaos Emeralds, collecting all of them won't grant you the ability to become supersonic.
Collision Chaos. Chaos is correct. Not only is this zone pink, but there's all kinds of obstacles and other things that'll send Sonic back in the opposite direction. It can almost make you sick. This is also where Amy gets kidnapped by Metal Sonic. Wacky Workbench. Ugh, I hate this level. You'll be bouncing more than a crack addict on a trampoline. They really went overboard trying to make this level as gimmicky as possible. It's not that bad, but don't play this level in the dark unless you want a massive headache at the end of the game.
I was frozen today!
Stardust Speedway.
It's like Starlight Zone, only more starry and speedy. Again, another level I think they overdid in terms of level design, but as a whole it's actually pretty dang easy.
At the end is where we race Metal Sonic, in which you need to get through the specific point before he does. While you're racing, Robotnik will constantly be on your tail with his instant kill laser that murders you even if you have rings. Though, why didn't he use that since the beginning?
After beating Metal Sonic, we rescue Amy. Huzzah? It turns out that the slow-moving column will actually bounce Sonic high enough to reach the next area. Well, how the hell does that work? You're seriously telling me that this column is capable of launching Sonic that high at its current speed? This complete disregard of physics angers me.
Hey look, I guess Sonic was trying to appear in Dragon Ball Z after all.
Completely weird and creepy.
Good lord, this is what the Warthog should have looked like.
Aw, chibi Sonic. Yeah.
A bit too cute.
Sonic has gray eyes?
Looks like an advertisement for Toyota.
See you in what game? Sonic Drift? Fuck that.
See you next game. Why weren't you in Sonic CD, you lazy bastard? Ugh, God, it's Mario and Sonic combined together. Evil spawn of Satan.
My eyes! It burns!
Yo, Sonic's totally kidding, so yo, he's an awesome and rad and all that bullshit.
The fastest DJ alive. Mix Sonic.
That's MC Sonic, Elliot.
I'm out of here.
Some little bitches, yo, my name is Levels, and I ain't coming to this place here for shits and troubles. So take a step back unless you wanna get knocked, cause I'm a bad motherfucker with some winky dreadlocks. So I'm looking at you, Sonic, cause you think that you're fast, but if you go around, then you're never gonna last. Cause your rhymes are oh, bro, I think it's a no-go.
Oh, just rebuild it? Oh, that real f***ing original. And who's gonna give me a loan, jackhole? You? You got an ATM on that torso light bright?
So Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was a juggernaut in sales, over 6 million copies sold. To this day, it's the best-selling Sonic game in the franchise, and on the Genesis. This is not only because Sonic 2 was awesome, but it was eventually bundled with the Sega Genesis, which increased sales dramatically.
Sonic 2 handles stubborn stains, embarrassing bald spots, no problem. It even slices and dices, makes thousands of julienne fries. But wait, you can play it too!
Sonic and Tails board the tornado and investigate the falling island. While traveling toward the island, Sonic leaps off the back of the plane and becomes Supersonic. I'm guessing he just wants to get this done and over with.
However, upon entering the shores of the island is when...
Some little bitches, your name is
Also, each act has their own musical track, which is, incredible considering each game before that had, just one overlying theme the entire time. But I would expect nothing less from a game being developed by Michael Jackson himself.
Angel Island Zone. It's Green Hill Zone, but with a jungle that catches fire! Hydro City Zone.
A water level in which the water is not actually a threat. Great music though, and it's pretty damn fast.
These barrels are rather infamous for...
I remember the first time I got here. It took me 12 hours to do. Just going up and down. Up and down.
Okay, whatever, moving on. Musically speaking, this game's soundtrack is awesome. It's one of my favorite Sonic soundtracks of all time. I mean, how can you not bob your head to some of these tunes? But overall, something feels incomplete about this title. I mean, throughout your ventures, you'll come across little quirks that make no sense and pathways that neither Sonic or Tails can reach. Secondly, while we certainly see Knuckles plenty of times, we never get to actually play as him, and it certainly looks like he's capable of being played as. In fact, if we do the level select code, up, up, down, down, up, 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 up at the title screen... come on.
Hey Johnny, what's wrong?
Nothing, I'm just trying to get the damn code to work.
Come on, dude, you need to be faster.
I'm going as fast as I can, dude. It's just being really picky.
Hold the controller sideways.
What? No, I can do this.
Come on,
remember,
no,
up,
just
down,
hold it
down,
like
up,
this.
up,
No,
up,
come on.
I
Just up, down,
we
down.
have pancakes. You owe me for
That's
this.
it, even-
You
come
know
on,
you
let
can
me-
do this. And Ryan,
Come on,
you shut
no,
up. You
come
gotta
on,
do
it's
this.
up, down,
How many
down.
times have you did this already? How many times did you do this already? Woo!
Got it.
They must have really not wanted us to see that level select screen.
And I can see why. Look. Mushroom Valley? Sandopolis? Flying Battery? Mushroom Hill Zone. Flying Battery Zone. So this is what the inside of an Energizer looks like. Sandopolis Zone.
We hate this level. We hate this level. We hate this level.
Oh, alright, it's not that bad, but it can be painfully long, especially the second act. Lava Reef Zone.
Unless you have the fire shield, you're gonna get hit. A lot.
Death Egg Zone.
No longer just 2 rooms in a hallway from Sonic 2. The Death Egg Zone has finally been given 2 full acts.
With loopy-loos! Whee!
But of course, we still haven't used this game's incredible lock-on technology! In order to make up for cutting Sonic 3 in half, Sonic & Knuckles comes with a lock-on feature that depends on what type of Sonic game you place on the top. By jacking in Sonic 3, we get Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the true Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
In addition to the Chaos Emeralds, by the time we get to Mushroom Hill Zone, we're introduced to Super Emeralds, which you can only start collecting after you either get the corresponding Chaos Emeralds. Getting all the Super Emeralds unlock a very special extra for each character.
What you're seeing now is my normal state. This is a Super Saiyan.
Oh, what a useless transformation. You've changed your hair, so what?
And this is to go even further beyond!
So Sonic needs super emeralds in order to survive underwater. Wow, that's pathetic. Tails, who initially didn't have a super form with the Chaos Emeralds, now has a super form with the Super Emeralds. This always confused me as to why, but getting the Super Emeralds with Tails is well worth the effort. Super Tails is ridiculous. Besides having all the benefits of a super form, he can also fly much faster, and he also has his
Flicky Army of Death.
These nasty little Hellraisers will attack anything that moves and completely rape bosses. Look at this, I don't even need to move. And if you have an electric shield when going super, what, the game wasn't easy enough for you already? Now, in addition to locking on Sonic 3 with Sonic and Knuckles, you can also attach Sonic 2 to the cartridge, which allows you to play Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with Knuckles. And there's not much to say about that. It's just Sonic 2 with Knuckles. Have fun. There's also the Blue Sphere game, which you can play by locking in any other Genesis game into the cartridge. It's basically just a Sonic 3 special stages, just with different layouts, but if you lock in Sonic 1, the amount of levels can reach the millions. And you seriously have no life if you played them all. Do yourself a favor and play this game. Don't play the first half alone or just Sonic and Knuckles. No!
No!
Play this. It's the true experience and definitely worth your time. This game is the reason I became a definite fan of Sonic. Yeah, the first two titles definitely helped lead the way, but this one, I mean, wow. I'm certainly not afraid to give this a 10 out of 10. 16 years later, and it's still an incredibly fun game.
Our second 10 out of 10 this year! 2010 is awesome!
Alright, we're finished with the Classic series, but before we wrap this month up, we still have two games to look at. First up is Sonic Spinball. Yeah. Sonic Spinball is a pinball game, no duh. If you ever played pinball before, then you should immediately know how it works. If you don't, stop watching this because you're probably way too young to be watching my videos. This level, however, is just plain shit. I can never get past the first section without either dying or the stage completely screwing me over. I mean, yeah, it's the final stage. It should be challenging, but the difficulty spike in this stage is just staggering. Just imagine strolling on a bicycle and then suddenly a brick wall materializes in front of your face. That's what Showdown is. However, shitty final stage aside, if you're a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog and you happen to be a fan of pinball, then you know what? Pick this game up. You'll probably really enjoy it. If you're just a pinball fan, then use caution. If you're not a fan of either of those things, then it's probably best for you to just stay away. It's certainly not the game you want to play to get in first impression of the series. Go ride the roller coaster instead. Oh, and I know someone's gonna ask me this, but yes, I am aware of the Game Gear version, but I never played it and I hear it plays like shit anyway. So I'm probably not gonna even waste my time. Maybe later. This shit doesn't work.
Hey John, what game you playing next?
Sonic 3D Blast.
See ya.
Sonic? In 3D? Truly, this must be a sight to behold. My god. An isometric 3D view, using a D-pad to control Sonic on a 3D plane. Flickies? Blast? Good god! What kind of render of Sonic is this? Well, he got possessed by Satan. Actually, I believe this is the cover that was used for the European and Japanese release. Back there, it's called Sonic 3D Flicky Island. Personally, I'm not sure which name I like better, but good lord, I mean, seriously!
In this game, Dr. Robotnik has invaded Flicky Island and kidnapped all of the Flickies. Yep, all 4 of them, and I'm convinced they're all the same ones actually, because they're all stupid enough to repeatedly get captured over and over and over again. As Sonic, it's up to you to destroy the badniks scattered throughout the levels, free the birds, and escort them to this giant ring. And that's all you do, repeatedly. Oh sure, there's a Robotnik boss battle at the end of each zone, but the entire game is nothing but you repeatedly rescuing birds over and over and over and over and over again!
It also makes platforming extremely aggravating. There'll be many times where you'll swear you made a jump correctly only to find out you were nowhere near close to it. Look at this, I fell through the goddamn platform, why? The level design and structure is also absolute ass. Look at this, it's a mess. Where the hell am I supposed to go? It also sucks that besides rescuing Flickies, there's nothing else to do in these levels. You can collect rings. That's fun, right? Or these Sonic icons, which I have absolutely no idea what they do. Or Tails? Knuckles? This actually isn't so bad. The game as a whole is still nowhere near as good as the main Sonic titles, but the Saturn version of this game, it's alright. If there was one thing I absolutely hate about this version though, is the load times. They're horrendous. Just about as bad as Sonic 06's. Or is Sonic 06's load times just as bad as Sonic 3D Blast? Whatever, the point is the load times are shit. So many good Sonic games, so little time to play them. If only there was some way I could play them all at once, you know, to maximize the awesomeness. I got it! Elliot!
Yes!
Bring me everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Okay.
Johnny, I really would not advise doing that.
What? Why not?
You see, one time I put Sonic CD in with Sonic 2, and it kinda came out weird.
Well, if you got that result just combining Sonic 2 and Sonic CD, I can't imagine what happens if you combine all the games at once. Elliot, let's begin.
Johnny, don't do it. Don't do it. Think of the children.
By combining all the pieces into one, we can play something that's truly remarkable. This is the true genius of Sega.
Get here! Ah!
God damn it, Johnny, look what you did. So, we have Sonic 3 CD and Knuckles and Knuckles. Might as well play it.
Alright. The game starts out with you playing as Eggman. Yes, Eggman, of all people. Apparently this game takes place in Bizarre World and the Negaverse combined into one. Sonic is some evil overlord trying to keep all of South Island's hentai all to himself, and it's up to Eggman to stop him. Doesn't even look like hentai, it just looks like People magazine with Sonic's face pasted on the front. Along the way, Eggman meets the Knuckles twins. One's a beatnik and one's a Rastafarian. They don't really do much though, the beatnik just recites poetry while the Rastafarian just bangs on the bongos and smokes weed. But he swears it's medicinal. Sure it is. Getting the Chaos Emeralds doesn't turn Eggman super, but it does give you a new move instead. Breakdancing Eggman! After 12,000 levels of gameplay, the final encounter has Eggman duel Sonic over a giant jello mode as they rock and sock each other over a very thin pole, American Gladiator style. With Eggman the victor, he distributes all the hentai back to the rightful owners and he goes back to his jungle hut to watch some pay-per-view and recollect the days where his games weren't so batshit insane. Truly, a game for the ages. Probably one of the best games I ever played. I'll give it a 1.0 out of 10. Wow, what a mindfuck. Oh shit, I forgot to put the Game Genie in.
Didn't you break the game enough? Well, I wasn't expecting that. Who would have thought the game was out already?
Let's play this bitch!
At long last.
Johnny, don't do it. Think of the children. Actually, that was bad.
First and foremost, the game takes place in Manhattan during the invasion of the Technodrome. Yes, you won't believe it, but the goddamn Ninja Turtles make a cameo appearance in this game. It's also at this time that Shadow barges in with a battery-powered Chaos Emerald and slowly but surely reveals his homosexuality with Maria. Yeah, Maria was a dude the entire time, who would have thought it? Suddenly, the game takes on very heavy Metal Gear tones and Solid Snake pops out of a manhole and proceeds to choke the ever-living shit out of Kratos, who just happened to be strolling by in his Honda carriage. At this time, I realized that I'm playing Super Smash Bros. Nonsense and proceed to actually play Sonic the Hedgehog 4.5. Now, despite Sega telling us that the game has momentum-based gameplay, I was surprised to see that the game came with a Super Boost feature that launched Sonic through the level in a blink of an eye. In fact, it's so goddamn fast that upon pressing the button, the level ends and proceeds to the next stage. Dr. Robotnik also makes a return, now sporting the ultimate of badass creations, a Beretta 92SB, thus making the boss fights the most difficult in the series. One shot to the abdomen and it's game over. Permanently. Yeah, if you die once, you can never play the game again, so I had to go through 4 copies just to review this game. One of my main problems with the game is obtaining the Chaos Emeralds. Yeah, at first all I thought you had to do was gather 50 rings to reach the end of the stage, but it's much more involved than that. You see, after grabbing 50 rings, you need to hook up your Model 2 Genesis, and yes, it has to be Model 2, the other models will just erupt in flames. You then need to attempt to stick an NES cartridge into it while making wheat toast, because you know what they say, all toasters, toast, toast. Then just as the toast pops out of the toaster, you need to jump into a giant ring at the end of the zone, while simultaneously taking a massive dump in your kitchen sink. See? Very involved. Oh, and Sonic being the only playable character? Yeah, that was bullshit too. Upon immediately entering the first level, Tails joins you, who now, in addition to having 2 tails, now has 3 eyes. This of course allows him to gain telepathic powers, and since that Knuckles is hiding in the ground ready to ambush Sonic once more. Why? Because Knuckles is cool like that.
Also, in addition to returning badniks, we also have new additions to the lineup, with one being Goro for Mortal Kombat, and Nemesis for RE3. I swear to God, it's like they ripped them straight from their original games and placed them with no touch-up whatsoever. Musically speaking, it sucks. I'm not kidding, the whole soundtrack is just one song, which is Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. At first I thought that Sega was just rickrolling me, and I was right, but that's not the point.
Finally, the ending was just plain bizarre. After defeating the Act 1 boss of Gene Simmons and his neon tongue, you need to defeat Chuck Norris in his kitchen while making roasted pork. At this point, the ending screen is just Sonic doing this weird hip motion for 23 minutes. There's not even any credits music, it's just him doing this. Alright, you know what, I'm just fucking with you guys. April Fools, everybody!